Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make hot cross buns in the bakery. And if you want a recipe, check out the description. So we'll get right on with the video. So first of all, I start by putting all the dry ingredients into the machine bowl. Then I add in the liquid, and then we mix it for around about 10 minutes on second speed. So the dough's ready, so we'll now be putting the dough onto the table. Right, I'll now be scaling the dough off. Now normally I scale off for one cutting £3 and 4 ounces. And into that I put 12 ounces of mixed fruit. So that gives you some idea of exactly what I do in the bakery. But obviously I do a lot more than that at the time. At this time in the video, as I'm scaling the dough off, I'm actually scaling off my main doughs as well. So you'll see me, I'm scaling off the Chelsea buns, larders and ice buns and donuts at the same time. Because everything comes out the same dough. There's no difference in the dough from hot cross buns to ordinary ice buns. So in my bucket there, I've got all my mixed fruit and the spices. Now the actual spice I'm using is an oil-based product, which is quite available off of Amazon. That is the best type to use for any type of hot cross buns. Now all I'm doing is weighing off the amount because I believe I'm making around about 3 or 4 cuttings of hot cross buns there. Now I'm adding the fruit and the spices into the machine bowl. And when you're mixing this up with the dough, you have to be very careful. In fact, you're better off just doing that at time on one speed is best and slow. It's just keeping an eye on it. What you don't want to do is smash all the fruit up. Sometimes you go into a supermarket and you see the buns, they're really brown and they look as though all the fruit's been smashed up in it. And this is how you want it. You want to be able to see the fruit in the dough. And that is exactly how it should be. So it's not all smashed together. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting it straight on the table and scaling it off into 4-pound pieces. I can almost smell that bun spice now. So like I said, I'm going to scale this off at 4-pound pieces. This is cuttings. Now out of a cutting, I get 30 hot cross buns. Now I'm going to be leaving them to rest and then I'm going to actually mold them up into hot cross buns. Once you get your dough cutting, what you need to do is roll it out onto a plate. It is a special plate made of aluminium and this goes into this machine called a BDM. And in plain English, it's a bun divider molder, BDM. It's a very easy machine. What you do is you put your plate in, slide it in, and then you pull the handle down and the other little handle cuts them into shape. And then the other handle molds them. And the machine goes round and round, almost like if you're doing it by hand. Now I'm going to do some hand molding here. And all we're going to be doing is pushing them basically into the table. So it gives you some idea of what hand molding is all about. See? And then we put them onto a tray. Usually when I'm doing hot cross buns, I'm usually putting around about 28 to a tray. Or if I want them nice and big, then I spread them out to around about 24 on a tray. And on this tray is some silicone paper, or you might know it as baking parchment. Now I've trayed them up, all I'm going to be doing is put them into the rack and then we're going to be popping them straight into the prover. Now the proving temperature for my buns is around about 30 to 35 Celsius. And they'll prove up for around about 45 minutes, give or take. If it's a little bit colder, they'll probably take an hour. So once the buns are ready, we need to cross them. So what we're going to do is put them onto the table and cross them. Now the crossing mix is made of water, flour and vegetable oil, basically mixed together. And that's as simple as it gets. Right, we'll get on to crossing our buns. Now the technique for crossing our buns is up one way and down the other. And you keep doing that as neat as you can possibly be doing. That's the idea when you're traying up, is to make sure you tray them nice and even. And I got them down the lines. So it's not spewing out all over the place. And once these buns are done, all we're going to be doing is baking them off in the oven. Now the oven temperature for baking the buns is around about 400 Fahrenheit, or in new money, around about 200 Celsius. And they bake for around about 15 minutes, give or take. And that's so they've got a nice golden brown on them. Right, our buns are ready, so we'll be getting them out the oven. And as soon as they come out the oven, what we do is wash them over with a syrup-based solution. And this is basically 50% water and 50% golden syrup mixed together. And all we do is just straightforward wash it over the top. And it makes that nice golden glaze. So when you go into the supermarket or wherever you buy your hot cross buns from, you can see that they've got that nice glaze on the top, and this is all it is. Mind you, factory type ones are done differently to this. They don't use golden syrup, they use some composite. And there we go, that's your hot cross buns. It's that simple, and if you like this type of content, please subscribe and please share. And don't forget, I've left a recipe at the bottom of the description, so you can actually follow that link and go to your home baking page. Laters!